Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We have some breaking news for you guys from Canada. Justin Trudeau has just started speaking. We're expecting his resignation. Let's go to Canada.
2015, I've fought for this country, for you, to strengthen and grow the middle class.
Go on here.
Why we rallied to support each other through the pandemic, to advance reconciliation, to defend free trade on this continent,
Wait.
stand strong with Ukraine and our democracy.
I'll explain what he's saying in a minute. If you can't hear it, turn it up.
We are at a critical moment in the world. Mes chers Canadiens, à chaque matin, je me suis réveillé en tant que Premier ministre, inspiré par la résilience, la générosité et la détermination qui nous caractérisent si bien en tant que Canadiens.
Very
C'est ce qui
quiet.
me motive à chaque jour où j'ai le privilège de servir dans ce poste. C'est pourquoi, depuis 2015,
Sorry about the volume.
battu pour ce pays, pour vous, pour renforcer la classe moyenne. Pourquoi nous nous sommes mobilisés en tant que Canadiens pour se soutenir les uns les autres pendant la pandémie, pour faire progresser la réconciliation, pour défendre le libre-échange sur notre continent, pour notre soutien inébranlable de l'Ukraine et de la démocratie, et pour lutter contre les changements climatiques et préparer l'économie de l'avenir. Nous traversons vraiment un moment critique dans le monde. My friends, as you all know, I'm a fighter. Every bone in my body has always told me to fight because I care deeply about Canadians, I care deeply about this country, and I will always be motivated by what is in the best interest of Canadians. And the fact is, despite best efforts to work through it, Parliament has been paralyzed for months after what has been the longest session of a minority parliament in Canadian history. That's why this morning I advised the Governor-General that we need a new session of Parliament. She has granted this request, and the House will now be prorogued until March 24th. Over the holidays, I've also had a chance to reflect and have had long talks with my family about our future. Throughout the course of my career, any success I've personally achieved has been because of their support and with their encouragement. So last night over dinner, I told my kids about the decision that I'm sharing with you today. I intend to resign as party leader, as Prime Minister, after the party selects its next leader through a robust, nationwide, competitive process. Last night I asked the President of the Liberal Party to begin that process. This country deserves a real...
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we now have confirmation that the volume was absolutely low. Hopefully you can turn on the volume, otherwise I'm shouting, right? All right, ladies and gentlemen, we now have confirmation that Justin Trudeau is now resigning, both as the leader of the Liberal Party and Prime Minister. We are going to give you guys all the information in case you don't know about what's been going on recently, and obviously as we are going, because this is a breaking news story, we're going to bring you guys any instant reaction we're going to get from Polyev and all the others in Canada as well. It's a huge day for the good people of Canada. Your dictator has finally given up. The tyrant Justin Castro Trudeau is going. It's all over, and of course they're going to replace him with another absolute nutter until the election. Right now, it is quite interesting what's been going on over the last few years. I'm going to give you guys the info. I am waiting obviously for all the up-to-date details that's coming in. Let's talk about the top scandals related to Justin Trudeau, starting with the holidays. Oh, as they say, vacations. In case you don't know, back in 2016, Justin Trudeau was found to have violated conflict of interest rules by accepting a holiday on the Aga Khan's private island. That was a little bit dodgy. Of course, he got embarrassed, but somehow Trudeau survived that. Following that, we had in the same year in 2016, oh yes, the elbow gate. During a parliamentary session in 2016, Trudeau physically contacted 2 opposition MPs, elbowing one, leading to widespread criticism. Somehow he survived that. We also had a number of other scandals relating to obviously the SNC Lavalin affair, which was in 2019. Allegations emerged that Trudeau and his officials pressured the Attorney General to intervene in a corruption case, resulting in multiple resignations and an ethics violation ruling, which again somehow Trudeau and the rest of his cabinet somehow survived. It continues. Oh yes, in 2019 we had the blackface scandal, you remember? Yeah, photos and videos emerged. They're showing Trudeau in blackface makeup on multiple occasions, prompting accusations of racism. Somehow Trudeau survived that. Then we had, oh yes, the charity crisis of 2020. The government decided to award a contract to the We Charity, an organization with financial ties to Trudeau's family, leading to investigations and the contract's cancellation. Somehow Trudeau survived that as well. But it continues. Yes. Do you remember the app? Oh, the Arrive Canada app, Can app. In 2022, the government spending of $54 million on the Arrive Can app faced scrutiny after reports indicated that it could have been developed for a fraction of the cost. Why would you spend that much money? Where is the money going, Justin? Somehow he survived that. Yes, and then his relationship with President Xi, a little bit dodgy, but not unusual. In 2022, intelligence reports suggested that China covertly funded Canadian election candidates, raising concerns about the government's handling of foreign interference. Again, for a globalist communist, it's not really that much of a surprise. Somehow, he survived that. Then, oh no, you remember this? Back in 2023, the Canadian Parliament literally honored a Nazi. Of course, this wasn't directly linked to Trudeau, but it was the senior team, of course, of the Speaker, as his office and the rest of the establishment that resulted in this. The whole point is, we had scandals after scandals in the Canadian establishment, and the leader of the country was Justin Trudeau, and it seems like nothing changed. Now, in 2023, the same year, several ministers, including the International Trade Minister, were found to have breached conflict of interest rules by awarding contracts to personal friends and acquaintances. How on earth did Justin Trudeau survive this? God knows. But let's not forget, we keep saying survive this, but all this built up. This mountain of chaos, which now finally imploded. Let's go to the final one. Oh yes, this is the recent one, of course. We had Chrystia Freeland, who resigned after a massive fight with Trudeau over his socialist economic policies. Let's not forget, Freeland is not necessarily an angel herself. She was very proud to go and freeze people's bank accounts during the 2021 truckers' protests against the health mandates. She seemed to be fine. She's also a tyrant, let's not forget. And now Justin Castro Trudeau has officially gone. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a happy day, and it's now 99.9% likely that Pierre Poilievre will become the next Prime Minister of Canada. The Conservative leader is becoming more popular every single day, and it's just a matter of timing. So now that obviously Trudeau has resigned, they're going to have to find a new party leader in general. I mean, the conversation is mostly about his role as Prime Minister, but there is a big issue, obviously, when it comes to the internal party matters of the Liberals. They have huge problems. Forget about the actual government itself. So while we're here, before we continue, let's get some reaction from you guys. Trey Tucker says, one small step for our fellow Canadians, a giant step for mankind. Bravo. Absolutely spot on. I agree, Trey. How he survived a bank account, this long is disgusting. What's going on? What? Yeah, because there's a lot of supporters of Pierre Poilievre as well. There's okay, we have some quotes from the speech. Obviously, the audio was extremely low, but I can now confirm what this idiot was ranting about. This is Justin Trudeau in his speech, resignation speech. Every bone in my body has always told me to fight. That's not good, is it? Because I care deeply about Canadians. I care deeply about this country, and I will always be motivated by what is in the best interest of Canadians. This country deserves a real choice in the next election, and it has become clear to me that if I am having to fight internal battles, I cannot be the best option in this election. For the record, there's a phrase, there's a word. Unhinged, absolutely unhinged. This man, he's still blaming other people. He's saying they're mean to me. My own party is being mean to me. My own voters are being mean to me. So I can't be your dictator anymore. In reality, Justin, go woke, go broke. And you did go woke, and you did eventually go broke as well. I think we have there we go. We have the actual better audio. The actual end moment of the speech. Let's quickly put that on the screen for you guys so you can see what you've been missing. in case you were very interested to see what this idiot has been talking about. Let's go to Justin.
Over the holidays, I've also had a chance to reflect and have had long talks with my family about our future. Throughout the course of my career, any success I have personally achieved has been because of their support and with their encouragement. So last night over dinner, I told my kids about the decision that I'm sharing with you today. I intend to resign as party leader, as Prime Minister, after the party selects its next leader through a robust, nationwide, competitive process. Last night, I asked the President of the Liberal Party to begin that process. This country deserves a real choice in the next election, and it has become clear to me that if I'm having to fight internal battles, I cannot be the best option in that election.
There's another clip I'm going to show you in a second, but we have an instant reaction from the global troublemaker, Elon Musk. Yes, Elon has now responded to a post on X. Somebody said, Trump won, Trudeau resigned, Keir Starmer got exposed, and Elon decided to say, 2025 is looking good. Yes, the international troll continues to have fun with all this mess that's been caused by the globalist liberals. There is another section of the speech which is quite fascinating because he's talking about how he's still confident that the party is going to do well, the Liberal Party is going to do well, which, again, that simply means that Justin is drunk during his speech. Let's go to this second part of the speech as well.
The Liberal Party will carry its values and ideals into that aspect.
Okay, it's too quiet. We have to sort out the volume. Apologies for that. I will fix this for you as we go. This is going to be a very messed up breaking news live stream. This happens when you have to do a last minute live streams. Everything falls apart and we have to do things as we go and as we carry on. So stay with me. We'll fix the audio and then it's going to take a while. Let's get some more reaction from the live chat while we're here. Where is it? Where's the chat? Here we go. There you guys. We have some super chats. We got the Viking saying, I'm so bloody happy. I'm not even Canadian. Beer. I think the rest of the Anglosphere is also happy. I think mostly because, not just because the politics and the world is extremely globalized. What happens in other countries will affect you these days anyway. I think there is also the point about people, for example, in countries like the UK are looking at the rest of the Anglosphere, and they get motivated and they say, well, if it could happen in Canada, it could happen in the UK. That's just one example, but of course there's so much more to it when it comes to these tyrannical, absolute weirdos who think that they actually have the public consent. I mean, you look at Keir Starmer, 20% of the country proactively voted for the Labour Party, and somehow he thinks he's more popular than Tony Blair in 1997. I mean, they are absolutely delusional. All right, I think we have the audio fixed. Finally, I did something useful. All right, let's bring out Justin again. God, I really don't want to, but I think it's important for people to know what's going on. All right, let's go back to Trudeau.
The Liberal Party will carry its values and ideals into that next election. I'm excited to see the process unfold in the months ahead. We were elected for the third time in 2021 to strengthen the economy post-pandemic and advance Canada's interests in a complicated world. And that is exactly the job that I and we will continue to do for Canadians.
Boring. Okay, now let's get some more reaction. We got the Wayne saying, I bet he gets a World Economic Forum job next. Probably some sort of United Nations nonsense. The hunt for resignation has very big gun. They think that failed politicians do get promoted. It's not really a joke. The failed politicians, there are international entities that actually do have the ability to give you promotions. So whether it's the European Union, if you're in Europe, or the United Nations, and whatever your niche was. For example, Tony Blair was very good at starting wars, so they gave him a job as the peace envoy to the Middle East. And since Tony Blair got that job, the Middle East has been completely chaotic. Anyway, what do we have? What's this? They think by worshipping Satan, then they are untouchable. But they will be in for a shock when they meet Jesus. Another fascist lefty crying for himself. Absolutely right. Woke tarts. Anyway, so this is the latest breaking news from Canada. Of course, good news to everybody who's watching this from Canada and the rest of the Anglosphere as well. And maybe some hope for the rest of the people in the Western European countries, as well as the rest of the world, Australia and New Zealand, to have better leadership in the governments. We're going to take a short break and come back around 5 p.m. UK time. We have a big interview with Raja Mia, who is a grooming gang whistleblower in Oldham. So subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'm Maya 2C, and we are the media.